Hi, my name is Lara Long. I work with Benetech. I'm the product manager, and I'm here to talk to you today about a brand new Daisy reader for the Apple iOS 4, Read2Go. Let's take a look. Read2Go is an application that reads Daisy books. These are accessible books. It connects directly with Bookshare and supports any Daisy 2 and Daisy 3 unprotected books. What we enter into initially is your bookshelf, and you see all of the books that have already been downloaded. You can sort them by title, by author, or by the latest book you've added into your bookshelf. Let's take a look at one. Boston Globe. We get both periodicals and books. And you simply open a book. It shows reading in both landscape and in the portrait mode. The reading controls are displayed at the bottom. Which has partnered with Bookshare to make this available. I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to show you a few of the basic features for getting around the book itself. What you see here is the navigation around the book. So you have all different, if I wanted to drop down straight to the food and art section in the Boston Globe, I could simply click that and it's going to jump straight down to that. It also has the features that you would expect of bookmarking, and then I have access to my settings. So I'm going to set a bookmark. Has been completed. And then I'm going to continue. I can skip down by section, and then I'm going to go back and show you how that bookmark, I can go back to it in the navigation. So not only do I have the full structure of the newspaper here with all the pages and sections, but then I also have, I want to jump back to my bookmark. So all navigational controls are controlled in the top right. Settings. This is a section you're prompted when you very first enter Read2Go to set your settings once. So you can do it, set it, and forget it. I have settings for my reader. So if I want to set the font size, it goes up to 70 for large print. I have visual settings, which allow me to set contrast, foreground color, 16 different colors, background color, 16 different colors. Setting the color of the highlight that you see here, the word highlighting. We have embedded a cappella voices. Right now there's 2 voices shipping. We have Heather and Lucy from the UK, although this is we're going to have the ability to add on different voices in different languages. Acapella is what gives us the ability to do word-by-word highlighting, which is a really powerful feature for a lot of our multimodal readers. So you can even set the word highlighting, you can set the bookmark color, you can set the ability to show images. So many of our K-12 textbooks have images in them, which is a really great feature. And then even the highlight position. So some of our early tester user feedback said, well, I would like to see the highlighting show in the middle of the page when I'm reading as opposed to free form. So if you see, it starts reading, and I skip, it now starts showing the highlighting in the middle of the page.
Globe correspondent / Cambridge. In many cities, chefs are cooking at so-called top.
One thing that we often get asked is, can it work without the voices? Can you just let voiceover? It is fully built to integrate well with voiceover. So I could basically just come into here and change the settings to turn audio off. Settings. So I can turn my Read2Go audio off, which is the built-in acapella text-to-speech, and let VoiceOver read this page. So what we tell people is for non-sighted users, we do recommend you use it with VoiceOver, because while the text-to-speech will do some voicing of what you're going through, like it'll read the book details, it will tell you your search results when I click into one, it's not going to read every single button on the page. Let's go back and show you how easy it is to get a new book. So the 2 main features that you have.
Welcome to Read2Go.
You have your bookshelf, and then you have along the bottom, the 2 main things you're always doing is going between reading my books and finding more books. And those of you that may or may not know, Bookshare is free to all students in the U.S. through a U.S. government grant that we have. So membership for qualified individuals is free, and so we don't have a market model. These are all free books. So you have browse functionality, and then you have free-form text functionality. So if I want to browse, I can see categories.
Categories list search. Results 1-35 of 35.
And you can see, say, educational materials. What educational materials do we have?
Results 1-100 of 6,317.
So there's 6,300 educational materials. So let's see what the University of Massachusetts has.
University of Massachusetts, College Prowler.
So you have all the detailed information about it, including the ISBN and synopsis.
Download started.
So this is really powerful because instead of a lot of times downloading it onto a computer and having to put it on a USB drive and then figure out where it is, it's downloading it automatically, it's unzipping the DAISY file for you, and it's asking you two things. Do you want to close it or do you want to play now? A lot of times people have the scenario where they want to just download a bunch of books and then read them, or I just want to start immediately reading. And so it's going to go ahead and go right into the book and start playing as we had just seen. So you see how fast and easy it is? Our real goal was to try and make this really, really easy for users to get in and quickly start finding what they need.
Restrictions on the use of this accessible media, which
so let's go back to search and show you a few more things in there.
Bookshelf. Search.
So you also have latest, and this is basically, we publish books to the collection every day. We've published probably 21,000 publisher books just in the last quarter alone. So let's say if I wanted to see what was published, and published, this isn't the published date of the book, this is how recently did Bookshare add these books into the collection. So this is always interesting to me because I like to see what did we get from publishers or what have our volunteers scanned. We get our books primarily through volunteers.
Results 1-100
so 172 books
172.
Went into the collection yesterday. Oh, interesting. So the University of Missouri book that I just downloaded is brand new in the collection. So again, you could download this.
Search.
So this is actually on our website the most popular thing. We have a bunch of avid users and they want to know, what did you guys put in the collection today? Because oftentimes we get things like Harry Potter, like the day it came out. Because we get books from publishers, we oftentimes get them pre-release, and so we hold them back until the day of, which is really great for this audience who, you know, for a long time it takes them 3 to 6 months. And then periodicals, which is, you know, powerful for our individual members a lot of times. They get, you know, the day of, you know, Wall Street Journal. So I can go in and say, I want my Wall Street Journal from the 28th and start to open that and read it. I have downloaded a NIMAC textbook. So this is a K-12 textbook. I've come in and I have my section, which shows me all the different sections of the book. And I can jump into, let's see, Galilei. Probably pronounced that wrong. And I'm going to start it reading.
Galileo Galilei. For many years, Galileo Galilei observed the night sky with a telescope. In 1610, he published his discoveries supporting the heliocentric model, a model of the universe in which Earth moves around the Sun.
Now let me show you how we switch the voices for the two that are included. We simply come in, select audio in the settings.
Audio settings.
We have the voice, select the
Voice selected Lucy.
Okay.
And we're going to change it to Heather.
Change the voice of TTS. My name is Heather, US. I am synthetic voice.
1616.
Let's start back here.
Galileo Galilei. For many years, Galileo Galilei observed the night sky with a telescope. In 1610, he published his discoveries supporting the heliocentric model, a model of the universe in which Earth moves around the Sun.
If I wanted to come in beyond just changing
Audio settings.
the audio voice, I could also increase the speed. So I found a lot of people
200%.
like to listen to it really quickly, which my cognitive capacity is not quite as good as, but
This heliocentric model, shown below, Ignaz Semmelweis. Ignaz Semmelweis was a young doctor working in a hospital in Austria in the 1840s. He observed that many women died of infections after giving birth in the hospital. After studying the problem, he suggested that doctors wash their hands before delivering babies. As soon as doctors started doing this, death rates dropped.
so you can see that it speeds up. I also have the option in here to come in, as I mentioned, and change the font size.
Font size settings.
So a lot of people
24 point.
want to know. I can go
70
all
point.
the way up to 70 point, for example. And you can see that it will display much higher. I'll show you a little bit of the contrast options so you get an idea of
Visual
what's
settings.
possible.
Foreground color select.
Do that. So let me set white, foreground and background color.
Background color selected
blue.
white, blue.
Do that. rotate it for you so you can see.
However, Semmelweis's solution to the problem was in conflict with common medical practices at the time. Therefore, Semmelweis lost his job at the hospital. Eventually, new discoveries about disease supported Semmelweis's ideas. Hand washing before deliveries became routine, and many more mothers survived.
So you see, basically I have the option to control both the font size, the contrast, the voices, the speed, bookmarking, and then navigational control. So you have this navigation bar at the bottom all the time. So bookshelf and search, we talked about. Those are probably the most things you're going to engage with all the time. Your settings that we saw in the reading experience also are always available to you. This is your Bookshare login and where you'll sign in and sign out. We also support the ability for teachers to download on behalf of students. And then you have help. So basically this is information on how to get started, how to navigate around, how to download books. We support obviously both downloading of books directly in the app as well as downloading from the web if you already have books downloaded and transferring via iTunes. So that's explained in here as well because we get that question a good bit. And then lastly, we have a feedback forum, which this is where we go and collect ideas from people, and people vote up various different ideas on what they think they'd like to see, and this is actually how this app got built. We had an ideas forum on Bookshare, and this is what people wanted, and it was the #1 idea. So you see people have allow large font size, allow the tap to turn. So this is really good feedback as a product person and helps me sort of democratize what we need to do. So that's really it.